Well, we are live, people.
Welcome to Speak
Live and
Easy.
direct. Live and direct.
Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Welcome to Speak Easy. I'm Chantal and I work for BHA. Everyone. And I'm with
Hi, everybody. I'm Yvonne. I work at George House Trust with Nugget today because Nugget didn't want to be by himself. So if he says anything, ignore him. Welcome to Speak Easy.
I think you just want to show Nugget off.
Really, it's like having a child in the middle of a group of adults. It don't work.
That's better.
That's amazing.
You stop us swearing.
So today,
Okay.
we are joined by 4 barbers, our black male entrepreneurs, and we have a special guest today as well, a customer in store. So a very good customer. And we're here today to discuss what it is like to be a black man in this day and age in society. Me and Yvonne was having a conversation the other day and we were saying we can't really put words on it because we're not experiencing it as men, we are women. So here we are today. So do you want to all introduce yourself before we get going?
I'm Tshak, the barber, another barber in Manchester.
Steve, an ex-barber. Mario, the good customer. Right.
Go on, Errol. Go on, Sydney. Don't be shy now.
I'm Errol. I live in France. I've been here 14 years next week. Martial arts instructor, Tai Chi instructor, meditation instructor, and work with kids all day. And welcome to Speak Easy.
Welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, all. My name's Sydney. I live in London. At the moment, actually, I'm a delivery driver, believe it or not. But I've had previous experience working in the IT industry. And at the moment, I'm basically working for myself, fed up for working for other people. So that's really my goal. Mainly specializing now in nutrition. It's something that we as black people really do need to pay attention to as well, because we're living not in an environment that we are used to. We're eating food that really we wouldn't be eating if we were here. You know, we'd be back home eating yams and stuff. So, you know, I fell into this just by more or less coincidence because I have issues myself. So I felt that probably through my journey, I can help others too.
Brilliant.
That's
absolutely good. Brilliant. Okay, Chantal, so where do you want the guys to start then? Because I understand that as women, we're always trying to get inside the head of men and understand men, but that's for the purpose of hooking up. But there's more to us women and there's more to you men. And instead of me guessing and spelling and reading in a book, Nugget, you're squeezing my belly. Instead of kind of looking everywhere, but I wanted to spend this time asking you what shapes you and what makes your experience different from a white man. So my first question is, what's it like for you? What's it like being a black man in the UK or just being a black man?
Yeah, like what does it mean?
Well, you're trying to get into our heads, maybe because we can't get into yours. Maybe that's the problem. We're not even can scratch you guys' head, never mind to get into it. So that's where we need to start from, innit?
So guys, do you think we're so different? And
Oh yeah.
you find relationships with women that hard?
What it is we process information in a different way. We are brought up in a different way as well, in terms of, you know, having to be, i.e. a provider, being strong, not showing emotion so much because that can be seen as a weakness. So you've got all of that. So that's probably why, you know, that's the environment. Well, me and Errol know each other anyway. So that's the kind of environment that we both grew up in. But funny enough, we're probably friends because we don't really fit into that kind of, what I'll go as far as saying stereotype. You know, I'm a pretty sensitive guy. And I will tell people if I'm upset about something, you know, I won't keep quiet about it. I won't hold it in. And maybe that's why I'm still here today, you know, because of that, you know.
Okay. What do you think, Errol? Does that ring true?
Yeah, definitely. I think going abroad, I used to go abroad a lot. I used to save my money, work hard, and then go abroad. I'd go to different places. And then people would tell me, where are you going abroad for? What's the point of going abroad? They don't like black people already. I said, well, I have to be a kind of an ambassador, even though I don't have to be. But because you're out there alone, doing the things on your own, and you're meeting people, people are not going to like you. And people are going to like you. It depends who you meet. But because you're going to travel out there, people are going to look at you differently and they have a stereotype of you. So I kind of agree with Sydney in that sense that, yeah, it is hard. And especially if you're on the outer, you know, yeah, if you're basically thinking differently and thinking like, okay, I'm going to travel abroad and meet different people who are not of my own culture. And that makes it, and trying to maintain that culture as well within yourself while you're with people who are different. That is quite hard sometimes. It really is.
Okay. Let me check in with the other guys and Steve, Tshak, and honorary visitor. What do you think?
Like with Sydney, I agree with Sydney with the point to just say what's on your mind or just express yourself. You get what I'm saying? And as I always say to persons, like, it's done. So it's not like if you have a missus, it's not a competition in it. So if you have your missus and you can't express yourself, I don't know, what's the point? You get what I'm saying? Or in society as a whole, if you can't express yourself, what's the point? You get what I'm saying? So for me, like, as a black person growing up in the Caribbean, I think that's the foundation in it. And if you have a good foundation, if you know yourself, if you know your worth, then you're sound. But if you don't have a good foundation, like, you're gonna struggle because majority of the black guys here is either we lost our way coming from our roots or we just didn't have a foundation, full stop. So your question, because for me, it's like, if I go out and work and I'm not good at budgeting and I give my missus my check to say, listen, I don't see that as weakness. I see that as intelligence.
Yeah.
If I'm not good with money, I'm just not good with money.
Yeah.
Somebody who lack of knowledge, for example, my other half would see that as weakness. To say, you know, I'm at meals, just run the house, do this, spend the money. To me, because I'm not good at money. So that's like one example. So to me, as a black person, especially in this society, and especially like here in the UK, you have to know yourself as a man. You have to find yourself. You get what I'm saying? And know your worth in it.
Yeah.
I think sorry to jump in there, but I do agree with that 100%, because the thing is, if you can't find yourself and what you do, and you don't have any purpose, any kind of forwarding, you know, it's really difficult to find a mentor or somebody you can look up to, somebody can guide you and say, yeah, well, do this, and this will help you for the future, because we're kind of living in the moment now, and everybody's like, well, I'll get for what I could get for myself, kind of thing. And no one's kind of thinking, okay, maybe I can make something for the future for my children or for myself, you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Yeah.
For me, that's the most fundamental thing as a black man in this society, knowing yourself, knowledge of self, because you have so many hurdles, so many obstacles in your path, some hidden, you know, things going against you. If you don't know these things, you can go off track. and
So
you're lost out there, and the evidence is there. You know, you see the young guys coming up, you see some of the older generations before us, how they're dealing with things now, and how that's passed on through generations as well. It's just crazy.
I'm not going to make any assumptions then, because one of the things that you're saying is key is to know yourself. Particularly, what are the particular things that you think you would want to pass on? What are the particular things that as a guy who's going to be able to flow through this society needs to be on the ball with? So if you were telling my 14-year-old son, what would you say to him?
Again, for me, it's like, especially as a barber, we speak like every age in it, every nationality, everyone in it. So for me, I listen to them in it firstly to see where their head is at. You get what I'm saying? So I give them the chance to, like, again, as I said, know themselves in it, know them worth in it. So if I realize that some bit of it, aspect of it, they need catching up on or whatever, then you get what I'm saying, I can point them into certain direction, trim that, cut that, move that, whatever. But as I said to you, like with most like young kids that come into the shop, I just let them know, just learn a skill.
Right.
Don't get into this white collar, no quick thing in it. Learn a trade in it. It maybe take a while, but you always will have money for 1, 2. You get what I'm saying? You can be more independent. You get what I'm saying? Especially in this society. You get what I'm saying? And I just be real with them. I tell them it's a jungle. It's not a nice place out there, innit? For black people, innit? Black guys and a whole, innit? You get what I'm saying? If I go to the bank and they realize my accent or sound different, they ask you excess and more security questions, innit? You get what I'm saying? Anything at all. So you go to the clubs, it's like you have it hard. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't let them be real with them, and it's not an easy place out there, innit? And for me, it's like, again, to get through now, it's like, it's luckily that I'm self-employed, I have a skill, like a barber skill in it, where sometimes it's difficult, it's not easy, but at least you're independent in it. You get what I'm saying? And again, as I said, amongst the females, like, most time the ladies don't know, like, as a black guy, as you leave out your house, in it, each steps or each hustle that you have to go through every day as a black person, innit? So you wake up, you leave, you go to work, you come back home, and they see you as a man. They don't know what you have to go through, innit? Because again, some people see as a weakness, innit? The female might be thinking, you know what, crack on. You get what I'm saying? But as I always said, like, just find out how is this there or whatever, you know, or try walking in our shoes for like a day, innit? You get
So what is it like to walk in your shoes for a day?
Yeah.
As I said, like, even like driving in it, you get what I'm saying? I have people who like have like nice cars, so listen, come and get it in it. And I refuse to, because I know obviously I'm gonna get stopped, and then because I know I'm gonna get stopped because of the vehicle, I'm gonna get annoyed in it. So I maybe throw away my rights in it. You get what I'm saying? A female can just drive any big car, whatever they want in it. Like, I see they get by in it. You get what I'm saying? So that's just like one example. So it's not like easy, like going there and going to a day in it. As a
Guys, is that true? Because I'd never thought of it. And the moment you said it, I thought, yeah, I get that straight away with the car. And it must be hard because we're being taught to skill up, and yet to claim all the things that should bring, you'd think that'd be great. But for you guys, you're saying every minute, everything that you do, you have to second guess it all the time.
Yeah.
So are you saying no qualifications? So you wouldn't then advise our young lads to get any qualifications?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get your qualification, but get a skill. I like this white collar job, like the white collar job, like office jobs, like those jobs. It's like ranks in it. Who knows? And I from experience in it, it's just who knows who. But if you have a skill, if you have a car that's brought down, as long as you do a good job, your name will always be there in it. So they can't go around that in it. They can select a mechanic in it, because at the end of the day, they need a car fixed in it. You get what I'm saying? In an office, it's like who knows who in it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just like the other day, like we went for a meal with our friends. And the guy, he was trying to book a table. But this restaurant is like a high-end restaurant in Manchester. He was struggling to get a table. And how he get a table, he know somebody who works there. And we get a table in there, but when he found out, they told him it's all booked in it.
Mm.
And so these are the things that you have to go through day by day. And so that's what I'm saying with the young people. You have to just be real with them. If you're gonna get a white collar job, make sure you go to the highest level in it.
I think
And he's saying he's the electrician. So I asked him how long is the course? He said 3 years. But he's like probably 18, 19. So I said, whatever time that 3 year finish, don't stop. Go to like the higher level in it. Go into testing or a higher level, but don't settle for that. Because I know obviously as a black kid, if you just come up with a qualification to say, oh, I'm an electrician, you're not going to get anywhere. But
Right.
as you're young and you have the time, push yourself, go to the highest level in it. Then when it comes to testing, when it comes to building, as long as you have your CV, they can't push you away because of your facing it. That skill is needed in it.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Right.
100%. Well, I was going to say as well that one thing that's really, really, really important, you know, that's for 14-year-olds. My children are quite young. I have a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old. They're both girls though. But knowledge of self. Now, I learned the word, you know, this phrase, knowledge of self, not actually from the African community, where I'm effectively from, but actually from my Jamaican counterparts. They were always talking about knowledge of self. And once you have that, I tell you, it's wonderful because, you know, we've taught basically that, you know, Africa is backward, you know, they live in huts. That's still even going on now. You know, they never show the high-rise buildings there, or, you know, the Nigerian billionaires, or, you know, they don't show Somaliland, which is like one of the safest places in the whole world. You know, you can leave money out in Somaliland and no one will touch it. Can you believe that? No one will touch it. They don't show any of that. So knowledge of self is so important. You know, the fact as well, like the Maroons who fought in Jamaica, you know, the Europeans couldn't beat them, the Haitians, all that kind of stuff is important. But the main thing is our history precedes all other history. Before the Romans, before the Greeks, before Persians, all these people, you know, all these other empires, we were the first. And we need to know that.
I think but my concern is that the young people will say the problem with that is it's history, it's in the past. How do the young lads hold it together now? How do you set the bar for yourselves? How do you set the bar for young boys? And over to Errol for that one.
Sorry, I was going to say that as a martial arts instructor, I've been doing it for about 30 years, and that's how I made my income. So I was more independent in that sense. So when my father said a funny story, my father, I got kicked in the mouth when I was doing Taekwondo. I got kicked square in the mouth and I lost my teeth. And I got home, my dad was looking at his newspaper, and he didn't even look at me. My mom went crazy. Oh my God, you're gonna stop this Taekwondo stuff? And my dad just looked at me and he goes, what do you have to do for next time? And I just said, what? He goes, keep your guard up. And then he talked to me a bit later on, and he said, you're gonna have some kind of skill. So you could be going for mechanic and stuff like that, but have something you could fall back on. So what I've done over the years, because I was doing my martial arts as my main job, I would do my art or my animation, make cartoons and stuff like that, and make money on the side. But I have something to fall back on, because that was always ingrained in me from my mum, from my father. Always have a backup, always have a second. But I think in this society these days, that's not taught. That's not said to anyone. Again, about having a mentor you can look up to and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to do that. That's none of that's been taught, because it's all about video games and doing this and doing that. But it's not been taught to people so they can go, okay, you know what, let me see if I can do something on the side, because it's not, I don't know, it's not cool to do something else, I think, especially here in France. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, it's different here, man. Really different here. The youth here are too rude, man.
Oh, wow. So you were talking about mentors, Errol. Guys, who are your mentors? And I'll throw that question to Tshak first.
For me, my biggest mentor is my dad. And he's paved the way for me in ways that I can't even express. That's why I am who I am today. But up to now, I learn and feed off everybody, my colleague, my friends, some of the young kids. Some of them I don't even know. Some of their mistakes. I'm listening to you guys speak, and I'm feeding off you. I heard you mention about mentors, how we need each other.
Yeah.
We really do, because you have a future coming up on us, and who's gonna be there to help them? Because a dad and a mom alone can't do it.
Exactly.
They're not gonna be with them 24/7. There's so many hurdles. People are gonna fall. They need somebody there to help guide them as they pick themselves up, not as we pick them up, as they pick themselves up, because they don't they go to panicking now because they just fell. And this is life, is a journey. But generally, everybody around me, but mainly my pops.
Okay, gentlemen.
I can't begin to name the amount of people